So this video has been long awaited by you guys. Last time I saw you, I was in the hospital with my crazy dramatic medical problem, and I know you've been really wanting an update on what's been going on. So as you can see, I'm now home, thank goodness. That was just, I was in for 16 days in hospital, and last time I spoke to you I was having tests and basically didn't really know what was going on, but I'm sure you've all watched that video. If you haven't, I will throw up a card so you can watch that. But just to briefly explain, I suddenly, out of nowhere, woke up with pins and needles in my legs, lost use of my legs, and was in hospital just wondering what on earth was going on. So that was
too scary.
Yes, it was terrifying. I just don't even know what was happening. So that's where I left off, and I can't remember, I think maybe I was awaiting the results of a second MRI when I last spoke to you. So basically I was in hospital after I filmed that vlog for several more days on complete bed rest. I couldn't get up out of bed, nothing. As you can imagine, that meant several different things. So where I'd lost feeling, the feeling I've lost is from here downwards, so from there. And it's really difficult to explain because when I say loss of feeling, I'm not completely without anything. I can feel like if I go like this on my leg, I do have some feeling there, but I can't use my legs properly. There's muscle weakness, and basically the messages aren't getting through and my legs aren't working. So that sounds like a really basic explanation. So anyway,
this is why you're not a doctor, right?
This is why I'm not a doctor, and this is just a basic explanation of what happened if this is the first video you're seeing. So anyway, I then had the results back from the MRI, and they did find an abnormality in my spine where basically some inflammation has caused a problem. So the confusing thing with this kind of issue with nerve damage is that there's several different things that present with the same symptoms. The doctor was saying that you might have 7 people with the exact same symptoms and they could all have a different reason why it's happened. So that's what was difficult for the doctors, is they have to do each test, eliminate down to figure out why this has happened.
There were a lot of tests.
There's a lot of tests. I had MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, a lumbar puncture, so many different things.
Which is a lumbar puncture, if people don't know. That's a spinal tap.
Yeah.
That's the American word for it.
So they take spinal cord fluid and
that was
test
crazy.
it. It was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever had done. If anybody ever has to have that, I feel so sorry for you. It's awful.
It was insane. I mean, they literally just get this huge needle and jam it into your spine. But it's not, they don't jam it into your spine, they're being very careful, but they have to get it into the spinal column, like between your vertebrae, and then they put this huge like thermometer on it, and it fills up with spinal fluid, and then they leak it out the bottom. But it was crazy, especially because the first doctor had a bit of trouble getting the needle in.
Yeah, it was not
nasty.
good, not good. And the initial screening for that said that there was no infection and no problem that they could initially see. Now I am still waiting for test results on that, which take a couple of weeks, so there could be something that they find, but they don't think so. And on that note, I do just want to mention the actual hospital itself. So we initially went to our local hospital, which is very small, and got transferred to the hospital that I was in for 16 days. And at the beginning of this video, you saw the time lapse of my view out of my window. So that was the hospital I was at. And I had my own room. The hospital is incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
This place was, I had never seen a hospital like it. I mean, I've been lucky I haven't had to go to a lot of hospitals, but
no, it looks like an airport, and the whole concept is like an airport. So basically they want patients to feel like they're arriving and then departing. So all of the wards and everything are called gates. So I was in a certain gate rather than a ward or whatever you'd normally call it. And like I say, they're all private rooms. Every single doctor, nurse, HCA, physiotherapist, occupational therapist, everybody who came to see me were so incredible and so caring and kind to you as well.
It was amazing. I mean, there were nights at the start where, you know, I couldn't leave you, and you know, they were super flexible about visiting hours, and one night someone even went and found a fold-out
little
bed
fold-up bed for Ian,
which we then had to hide in the morning so that she didn't get in trouble. But I mean, it was just incredible.
They allowed my mum to sleep in the hotel room. They allowed my mum to sleep in the hospital room a couple of nights while she was there with me, and it was just absolutely amazing. And as you can see, the actual hospital itself, this is what it looks like. It's incredible.
It's just amazing.
Just absolutely huge.
Had these huge atriums running through it, like these different sections, and at the end there's a grand piano, and most afternoons there'd be someone playing classical music on the piano. There was a saxophonist there one day. I mean, it was just, I know these are only little things, and in the grand scheme of people's medical problems, it's not like a grand piano is going to solve anything, but it made the whole place feel so more comfortable compared to a lot of hospitals that maybe are a bit older or could do with some renovations. This place was just astounding.
Very, very new, and they even had the little, you know, when you're in the airport and you've got the little van things that drive
like a little
you.
Buggy. What's the right word?
I don't know.
Shuttle.
Yeah, like a little thing you can like hop on to get to your gate. They have those to take people around. So the whole airport thing is like a big theme of this hospital. And the hospital I was at is a centre for neuroscience. So thank goodness I was in the right place. Yeah. It was the nearest one to bring me to, and it just happens that they have some very specialist doctors there for what I had wrong with me. So I was very well looked after. All the tests happened very, very quickly, and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the whole layout of the place was unbelievable. They sort of segregate all of the wards, and they don't really feel like wards, do they? Because they are all rooms.
No, everyone's got their own rooms.
It's like their own wing.
Yeah.
But that's all segregated from the areas that you would go to get a scan or to go in for surgery or anything like that. So visitors don't ever get into those places.
No,
I'm struggling to explain what I mean, but if Victoria needed to go and get a scan done, her bed would be wheeled out of a different door and like over a bridge onto the other side of the hospital, and there's no visitors there. It's all very clear, and you just get straight to where you need to go, and it just makes people visiting feel less like it's a hospital because they're not seeing people wheeled around on beds all the time, or you know, people
visitors basically would never see a patient being wheeled around on a bed or anything like that. Which can be uncomfortable. You know, I've been in hospitals before where you're being wheeled along and there's people, you know, sitting waiting for outpatient appointments and things like that, which is not very nice. So yeah, it was just incredible, and I'm so thankful for the care I received. And you'll see in the vlog that I'm going to put up all of the equipment. So they've had to give me a bed, a walker, and all of these kinds of things. The NHS just took care of all of that, organised it for me so that I could come home and, as I say, live downstairs for the time being. So it really is just,
that's it. I think whatever amazing. Anyone might think about the NHS, when you have something like this happen and you need it, suddenly it really is the greatest thing, and you've got everything that you need, and you don't have to worry about huge medical bills or how you're going to deal with something, or having to buy a bed or any of these things. It's just all dealt with for you, and it's amazing. You know, it just takes so much of the worry and the stress away at a time that's obviously
already stressful enough. So yeah, that side of things was definitely amazing. So I had all the tests done, and they have concluded, as far as they can without this extra test which takes a couple of weeks, that the problem that I have is inflammation. It's not an infection, and it's not an autoimmune problem. So unfortunately it is something that just happens out of nowhere, and the name for it when it happens like that is transverse myelitis. It's very, very rare. It's very unfortunate and very unlucky if you get it. It's just basically something that happens. I'm so sorry about the construction noise, guys. There's construction everywhere, you can probably hear that. Yeah, so that's basically the diagnosis. And
yeah, because it's so super rare, they don't really know that much. They don't know what actually causes it. It's just the description for when this kind of inflammation happens, when they can't explain it. So it's not like there's a lot of cases that they can look at to kind of figure out why it's happened or stop it happening again. So, and
I've looked into, you really shouldn't do this, but I have looked online for other people who have had it, and there are people who are still in wheelchairs 2 years after they've had the problem. There's other people who are completely back to normal. It does seem to be that the recovery is very different for everybody. I was very lucky in that I got quite a bit of movement back straight away. So obviously my legs were completely, at first I could go like this with my toes and that was about it. I really couldn't lift my legs, I couldn't put them up, anything. Whereas I was on bed rest for a week, I would say, maybe just over, and by the end of that week I was able to lift my legs up. I was experiencing quite a lot of pain. I will be honest, the pain has been quite horrible that I had initially, but it's now under control with pain medication. So I'm no longer experiencing pain like I was before. It was very frightening when it first happened.
For sure.
And when I had some very, very bad episodes of pain, but that does seem to have passed, thank goodness.
Well, yeah, the first one after we went to the second hospital was especially frightening.
Yeah.
I mean, you were almost passing out
Yeah.
and stopping breathing and really scary stuff like that.
It was horrible.
It was pretty intense.
And I've got a pretty high pain threshold generally. I'm not a kind of pain.
And I know everyone says that.
Everyone says that, but I do.
Like everyone says they've got a good sense of humour, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I generally am not kind of dramatic about pain, but it was awful. But all of that got, controlled, so that's fine. So I know this all sounds kind of vague, and the reason for that is because it is. All of us are just very confused about how you can wake up one morning, have pins and needles in your legs, incredible pain, and then suddenly you can't walk. It just seems crazy, because it is. But yeah, that's basically what's happened. It is random. I apparently don't need to worry about it happening again, because the chances of it happening once are ridiculously, unlikely. So they said I shouldn't be worried that it will happen again. It's just a case of the recovery. So what I'm going to do, I will just briefly explain to you what the problem is that I actually, what kind of situation I'm in. I'm going to be doing some vlogs on actually to show you what my movement's like, what my walking's like, how I can get around, just to keep you updated so you can see. So I'll be doing a vlog in the next couple of days, but basically, like I said, from here downwards, my body is, I want to say numb, but I do still have some feeling. And the best way I can describe it, it's so difficult to describe how this feels. Your entire body, so if you imagine both of your legs and all around your middle, it feels like they're being squeezed by tight elastic bands. That is the best explanation I can give for it. So your whole body's being squeezed like it's in a vice, and when you sit down, you can't feel anything properly. So you don't feel like I don't feel like I'm sat on this chair. If I'm laid in bed, you don't feel like you're laid on the bed. You feel like this stuff underneath you, and you just feel completely disconnected from your body. I've never experienced anything like it.
Especially when you're walking.
Yeah.
Because you can't feel your feet on the floor properly.
So your feet are numb.
So it's really strange trying to balance and move your feet around, because you can't feel properly where they're going. Like you say, it's not that you have no sensation, is it? But it's just very altered. No,
I can feel, I can stand. I've got good strength in my legs. I do have to walk with a walker.
Which you love.
It's basically a Zimmer frame. I'm on a Zimmer frame at my age. What's happening?
Exactly a Zimmer frame.
But I'll show you guys that in the vlog. I can walk a little bit unaided. Now, I haven't had my physio yet. They're going to be coming to the house to work with me to get my walking back as soon as possible. In the meantime, I've had to just kind of make my own arrangements, and I have managed to get up and down the stairs a couple of times. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that.
Don't tell the physios.
Yeah, don't tell the physios. But I have managed to do that. I can take a few steps unaided, but they're not, my walking isn't right. Like, you would look at me and think, what's wrong with her, basically. It's like funny walking.
Some people thought that anyway.
Yeah, you probably think that anyway, but basically, yeah, I can't walk properly, but I have been able to take a few steps, which is really positive. I'm feeling really positive about the whole thing, and that's one thing that I wanted to say. You remember from the vlog before, I really haven't had, I've had a few episodes of feeling a little bit upset when I was stuck in hospital, when I was in pain and things like that, but generally I haven't for a second
you haven't got down on yourself.
No, I haven't
done the whole poor me kind of thing, wallowing in self-pity or anything like that. You've been really positive.
Yeah, even being upset about it, I just kind of think, yes, it's really weird and it really, really sucks, but it's happened and there's nothing I can do about it. Being upset about it, getting stressed about it is going to do nothing. That's not going to make it go away. It's not going to make it better. So all I can do is take the situation and make it as good as I can, work as hard as I can to get my walking back. I've got my Florida trip in November to focus on, and I really want to be as well as I can for that. Like I said, at the moment, if I leave the house to go and do anything, I do need a wheelchair because I can't walk any sort of distance. I can get myself around the house on the walker, but it wouldn't be any good if you were trying to go anywhere.
Which again, you love.
Yeah, but I hate being in a wheelchair, but there you go, I can't do anything about it. Hopefully by the time I go to Florida, I'm going to be, you know, I want to say back to normal. I don't know. They've said the process of getting completely back to normal can take a year, sometimes more. It's
certainly it's months, not weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And the process, just to say as well, of actually recovering, it's the physio side of it for your walking, and also I am on medication to bring down the inflammation, and that medication is a high dose at the moment, and then it gradually gets less over the next 5 months. So I am on quite a lot of medication, but hopefully that will help to bring the inflammation down. The other thing that was a huge deal, and I don't want to be too graphic, but obviously losing the ability to walk, you lose everything else as well. So you can't use your facilities, let's say. So obviously, I think I mentioned in the last video I had to have a catheter, which was horrible. All of that side of things actually are working. They're not working at full steam, but they are working. I've managed to regain control of that kind of side of things.
Which was very important.
Which was very important to me. That was one of the things that really upset me, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to be stuck with that kind of situation. And like I say, it's not working 100%, but I am able to go normally, let's say. Sorry, I know that's really gross, but it's relevant.
TMI.
It's part of what's been going on. So, and it's a big part of it, you know, like, as you can imagine. It's certainly at my age, it's not what you want, is it? So yes, that's basically the update, and what's going on and what the diagnosis is. So, and prognosis, very difficult. They don't really tell you. They don't like to tell you much at all. They just say it's going to be a long recovery time, and most of it is down to you to do as much as you can.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is, like you said before, because it is so rare and they don't have a lot of information to go on, there's just so much variation between different people's recovery. But what they did say was that because you're young, because you know your blood vessels are in good shape, because you don't smoke, you hardly drink, all of these things are good for making your recovery more likely to be both quick and complete. But the honest truth is we don't know. We're going to have to see how it goes.
Kind of wait and see. And like I say, the steps that I've taken literally so far have been really, really positive. My balance has come back very quickly. Initially, I couldn't take any steps at all without the walker. I needed to hold on all the time, and now I am able to, you know, kind of walk around.
Yeah, we had a bit of a breakthrough the other day. You called up to me and said, I feel stronger. I feel
in my core. I just felt like I had more balance and strength, and was able to just do some walking. So definitely things are happening, things are coming back. It is very difficult. We've had to, I'm going to show you in the vlog, we've had to adapt for me to sleep and live downstairs for now, which is not ideal. It is frustrating. Everything takes 4 times longer. Getting dressed, washing yourself, trying to do anything. It's not easy, but I'm just making the best of it and just going for it, and just, it is what it is. So
you're a trooper.
Just going for it, really. So it's a very crazy time. It's been a really scary time. I do just want to say that you guys have been absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The comments that I have had from social media, on YouTube, and not just the odd comment, people have been following up, asking how I am I still in hospital, what's happening. You know, the concern and love that I've had from all of you guys is just absolutely amazing, and it really helped me stay strong, being in hospital, being stuck there. It's just been absolutely amazing, and I honestly can't tell you what that means to me and how great that is. So thank you so much
to both of us as well.
People asking how Ian's been, because that's why Ian's obviously here with me. This has not just involved me, it's been so hard on both of us. So frightening. You know, it's not something that you expect to happen. It's not like an accident happened or, you know, anything like that. It was just so completely out of nowhere, and we both were just like what is happening here? This is absolutely crazy. So yeah, the comments and everything that people
It's been amazing. I mean, it's just the outpouring from all you guys, like on all various different social media, was just you know, really helped. It did help to know that, you know, that there were so many people out there thinking of you, thinking of both of us.
Yeah,
you know,
and it really means
meant a lot to us.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much. I will be doing lots of vlogs, obviously, so I'm going to try not to make all of my vlogs about this, because I hate that. I don't want everything to suddenly be about this problem that I have. But
it's kind of the main thing you've got going on, right?
Yeah, it is a big thing, but at the same time, you know, life goes on and everything. So the next vlog will definitely be focused on what's happening, so you can see me doing my bit of walking. I'll show you the kind of situation and the setup and everything, just so you can see what's basically happening with us. And then going forward, the vlogs will be much more normal kind of stuff that we're doing. So, and my brother's visiting in a few days from South Korea with his girlfriend, so they'll be in the vlogs. Yep. Lots of people to make me cups of tea and coffee and stuff like that.
I see. That's the real reason they're coming.
Actually, on that note, I have been the opposite. I've been making other people drinks. I've been trying to get up and around. I don't want people
you want
running
to do
around
everything
after me.
For yourself.
Yes.
That's why we've got to keep an eye on you.
I know, I do need to, don't worry, I am being careful, because I know that I need to not push myself too hard, because they did tell me that as well, so, and I do tend to do that.
You do, a little bit.
So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to answer them. Feel free to ask them.
Go answer your own questions.
Answer your own questions, go and Google it. Feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm quite open to let you know about anything, or you know, whatever you want to ask, so as long as it's not too personal, let's not go crazy. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you have in the comments. If you're not subscribed to this channel because you've come across from Disney in Detail, this is obviously my second channel where I do lots of other vlogging, lots of other videos, so hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to follow along and see how my progress goes. But
click the bell.
And click the bell, yes.
Click the bell
icon means that you get notifications as well, so subscribe and then hit the bell icon as well.
We're going to put some links in the description about transverse myelitis and stuff like that.
Maybe, I mean, you can Google it and you'll be able to see what it is, but yeah, I can put a link in there, and I'll also put a link to the hospital vlog that I was telling you about, which is when it initially happened, if you want to watch that one as well. But I'll put together a playlist of everything that's relevant to this. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you got all the way to the end of this, then give the video a thumbs up, because you deserve a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.